well, if you're wearing anything related to blasters, if you're wearing the training kit or if you're wearing the t-shirt, people will stare at you like you are a celebrity out here. And the for example, uh, a few days back when I was in Kodikot, I just took an auto and I was going to the stadium, and then this auto driver, when he came to know that I am the like I'm working at Blasters, he actually refused to take money.
In terms of scouting, right? Scouting is another thing that people are not aware about in the country, right? Can you tell how does scouting in the ISL clubs or in general work in Indian football?
So, scouting, how it works. So you have different, different methods of scouting. So it really depends on the club, which methods they want to follow, how they want to scout. But, one common
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Unplugged with me, Satvik. And in today's podcast, we have someone very special, someone who holds the record of being the youngest UEFA A licensed coach of the country and is currently working with one of the topmost clubs in India, that is the Kerala Blasters. I have Noor Alam with me. Noor, thank you so much for accepting the invitation, and it's an absolute honor. And yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sadvik, for having me here. I always think, and I always say this to the people I meet, that people and individuals like you, groups like you who come up and spread football across the country through the podcasts, through different contents on Instagram or Facebook. You play a major role in developing football in India, because you are the people who actually spread those voices. You are the people who actually bring that awareness of football in the country among the general mass. And thanks to you, thanks to everyone out here, and thanks for having me here, Sati.
Correct. Feels good to be on the other side of some appreciation. So, thank you so much, Noor. Noor, this is something that I ask all of my guests, and something that I'm really, curious to know. When did football start for you? Or like, what was the first impression or first memory that you have of football?
So like the first memory, like if I tell you, like the first time I played football, it was back in my native home. It is a village, and there were 40 odd children out here along with me who were who were just having a ball. It was not actually a football. It was a kind of volleyball kind of thing, and we had like no field, like nothing. It was just paddy fields, and we had just two sticks, two goalposts made with four sticks, and 40 odd children running after the ball trying to score in those posts. And so that is one of the first time, I think that was the time when I played football. And then, back in my hometown, I started, playing in a local coaching camp. And then from there, I started, taking football seriously. And from there, my passion for coaching grew. And yeah, it went on like that. If I'm not wrong, I started watching football back in 2009, 2010. And my first, major attraction was the 2010 FIFA World Cup. And I watched all the games. And it was from that moment that, I started loving the game. And from there on, I started following football like crazily. So yeah, it
Uh,
started
so,
like that.
so, Noor, how old are you right now?
I'm 23.
23, right? So very young, 23, heading the under 17s at one of the biggest clubs in the country. Like, how does it feel? Do you sometimes look back and still feel like a bit of a dream? How does it feel currently to see where you are now?
It feels good. I feel grateful, but at the same time, I will not say that it was kind of a like overnight thing, because I've already dreamt about this back when I was 14 or 15-year old. Because I like where I am right now today, I already dreamt about it, and I already wanted to be here. I already picturized myself to be here where I am right now. So it is nothing of that I'll be so much surprised that, oh, I'm here. I'm grateful, but I know that I wanted to be here, and I worked really hard for it. And I planned for it. I worked for it, and I knew that this is where I want to be. And that was when I was 10 years back, when I was in my bedroom thinking about football and planning like how I can make a life out of football. This is what I planned out for myself, and thankfully, gratefully, I am doing good. I'm following my dream. I'm following what I want to be. So yeah.
So, Noor, a lot of times when people sort of get into coaching, right, or get into, let's say, scouting, or let's say anything related to
Hmm.
football, is mostly players who could not really make it professionally. So they just wanted to stay connected to the sport, and that is how this came through, right? Now you're telling me that at 14, 15, you were very clear that you wanted to become a coach. So was it something that you were very clear from the beginning, or did it sort of transition where you wanted to become a player but then realized you are, this might not be really possible?
No, if I'm like very honest about it, I wanted to be a coach back when I was 14 or 15-year old. Now many people can come and say that no, you did not say this to us until and unless we're 18. Because I didn't say that, because if I say that, you would have told me like, are you mad or what? But I was very clear on my mind. I want to be a coach. But then I knew that to be a coach, I have to be 18 years of age, and before that I cannot be a coach. I cannot do my coaching badges. I cannot do different licenses and courses. I cannot do that. So until 18, I planned for myself that yeah, I will play like up to the level I can, and I will try to hone my skills required for coaching, basic skills. For football, you don't need to for football coaching, you don't need to actually be like what to say be like Kylian Mbappe. You don't have to be actually like that, but
You don't have
you
to be
need
a
to
world
know the
class.
basics. Yeah, don't need to be world class, but at the same time you need to know the basics. Like, you should not be like you cannot even pass a ball, because if you don't know how to pass a ball, you cannot teach your players like how to pass a ball. So the right from there, so like I was clear in my mind I want to be a coach. But then I knew that these 4 5 years back when I was 14, I'm telling you about that time. So I was like, for these 4 5 years, let me play football. And fortunately I was playing, I was improving, and then from there I got into Sports Authority of India, Sai, Kolkata. And so I was in that academy for for 2 years. I played in various tournaments, various leagues, and from there, as soon as I turned 18, and at that moment I was in Sai only, and as soon as I turned 18, I started doing my coaching badges, and and while I was in Sai, even before Sai, when I was not in Sai, I was, coaching part time. So from 15, 16 years of age, I was coaching part time. I was coaching at the, local coaching camp. I was coaching my friends. And when I was inside also, I used to, Saturday, Sunday used to be off. I used to come back to my home, take charge of the local coaching camp, and I used to, like the players maybe of my age, and also older than my age. And then when then after 18, when I still played for 2 years. I still continued playing. I played university. I played some games, some tournaments as well. But then when you get into like professional coaching, it right now it is very demanding. The coaching job is very demanding. So you know that you cannot be like what it used to be previously, like the player manager, or the coach manager,
Correct.
the coach player. You cannot be like that. So then I uh, left playing, because I wanted to focus solely on coaching, because whatever time, whatever energy, whatever I have in my hand, I wanted to fully dedicate myself to coaching. So then it was a transition, from playing, little bit, coaching, and then completely I came into coaching.
So, Anur, can you tell me what was the journey like? Because unlike a lot of people in India who do AFC licenses, right? You went on to do UEFA licenses, right? So, how did that journey go, and what was that journey like of completing all those licenses to completing till UEFA A license? So, how was that journey?
It was very nice. It was very nice. At the same time, it really needed, commitment. You really needed some good, a lot of time. It was exhausting. You have to be really on the course. You have to really be on the treadmill all the time. And I mean, treadmill on the like all the time means you have to always be, on the. You cannot even miss a day and think like, okay, I will do this the next day. You cannot be like that. So. But at the same time, it was a huge learning experience all these years, and you know, it will continue now. It will continue as well. But till now, it was really a very good learning experience, and this learning experience will continue. And AFC, I did it from outside, not because not because I see AFC as something lower or something. It is
Inferior?
not because of that. I don't see AFC as inferior, or I don't see AFF as inferior, but I wanted to do UEFA licenses because if we are honest, see, football in England is far better than what football is in India. So I wanted to
Correct.
know like what they actually do there that we don't do here. What they
Okay.
actually do, that they're the top ranked teams in the world and we are not. So I wanted to, I always say this, I wanted to learn from the best. I wanted to know what those best people do. So I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to be there. I wanted to see there. I wanted to experience there what they do. And from there, I wanted to, come back to my country and implement those things so that I can make my country the best. So that is what I wanted to. That's why I wanted to do the UEFA licenses, because when you are going there, let's say for example, I went to Wales, I went to England, I went to Scotland. When you go there, and I went to Portugal as well. When you go there and when you meet with those people who are working at the top level of not only European football but at the top level of world football, you really your eyes get opened, and you really get to see, you really get to differentiate that okay, this is what they're doing and this is what we need to do. Okay, not everything can be copy pasted. Not everything can be copy pasted because their context is different, Indian context is different, but there are always so many ideas, so many concepts, so many things that you can learn from there and you can help implement it here, so that somehow we can improve our footballing standards here in India.
So, Noor, so obviously there were things that were different, right? So, what particular things really sort of surprised you that you did not expect would happen, or is different in, let's say, England or the United Kingdom to India? Like, what part of your entire journey really surprised you in terms of coaching?
Uh, in terms of coaching, see, the first thing is they really understand the game, read the game, and they're very detailed in they're detailed to like attention to detail. So they are does not matter whether it's about youth players. It does not matter it is about first team players, first team environment. Does not matter it is about analysis or scouting. It does not matter it is about sports science or it is about psychology. Everything, they are very much attentive to detail. And also they what I found out there, they are they keep on upgrading their knowledge. So for example,
Hmm.
what football is now, football won't be after 5 years. Football won't be the
Correct.
same after 5 years. What football was 5 years back, football is not the same now. So they
Correct.
keep upgrading their knowledge and understanding of the game. So that is what I feel, that we also like what I will say, like Indians, what we think. For example, like let's say, okay, I will not talk about my profession. Let's talk about a different profession. For example,
Yeah.
if you are a let's say you passed MBBS, you are a doctor, you passed MBBS back in 1980s.
Hmm.
Now, when you are working in 2010 as a doctor, if you carry on and only have that knowledge that you have gained when you passed the MBBS course in 1980, you cannot survive in the current medical market,
Correct.
because
Correct.
medical market has evolved so much. So many reports, so many so many things have come up, so many
New
research
technologies have
has come
come
up
up,
which
new
have,
testing has
yeah,
come.
new
Yeah.
technology, so many things have come up. Now you have to, like, as a doctor, to be successfully a good doctor, and I will not say like about earning or something, to be a good excellent doctor who has good knowledge, who can guide you, who can do the surgery, or whatever it is. But if you want to be a good, excellent doctor, you have to upgrade your knowledge, and you have to
Yeah.
upgrade your knowledge every time. A new research paper comes in, and you know that okay, this is what you used to do, but this is now the research has proven this wrong, and this is how it needs to be done now. So that is when you read those papers and update yourself. But if you're adamant within yourself, no, I don't need to read this because I'm already a doctor, I already know everything, I don't need to know anything more, then that is where you stop growing. So I think that is a major difference in the people, in the coaches that I found out. There is they keep on upgrading themselves, they keep on gaining and gathering knowledge, and they keep on upgrading themselves as a coach. So that is one of the major differences that I found out. Yeah.
Okay, Noor, I think this is one question that I often get asked, and I think this will be very helpful for the people. Could you tell me in terms of the expenses, right? How much money do you need to go abroad and do all the UEFA licenses, and what is the duration of the entire stay? Could you just tell the all the financial elements of going abroad and doing a UEFA coaching license?
So it really depends on on the course you are in. It depends on the associations you are doing with. It depends on the time of the year in which you are doing that course. So
Okay,
for example, when I did it back in pre-COVID era,
okay,
it was very cheap. The flight
okay,
tickets, the stay, everything was very cheap. But right now it's very expensive because the flight, which for my level one, the flight ticket costed me around 37,000, round trip from
oh wow,
from Kolkata to London. It was not actually
wow,
from Delhi to or Mumbai to London. It was Kolkata to London. It was 37,000 round trip done. Now if you
okay,
want to book the same flight from Kolkata to London, it will take you around 75,000, 80,000 minimum. And if you're lucky, you will get it, let's say 65,000. So after COVID, the dynamics have changed. The dynamics have really changed. And stay also, if you talk about accommodation, see, uh, it depends. Like now, if you want to stay in a Airbnb, if you want to stay in a hostel, if you want to book a good hotel, so it depends on like you. But anything for hostel charges will be around let's say 1,500 rupees per day. So it's cheap. It's cheap. It's not too costly, but you have to know. You have to do your research, and you have to know that okay, this is where I can book, this is where I can do. Also you can if you know that this is one guy, one guy from, let's say, Japan, who is going, so you get connected with him, and then you talk with him to share the room, and then you can the you can save some money
split the
like that as well. So,
yeah,
and course fee, if I talk to you about course fee, it depends. Course fee, it depends. So for example, uh, I have to really go and like see how much does it cost right now, but it keeps on changing every year. It keeps on changing. It depends on several factors. The associations, UEFA. It depends on several factors, and it also depends on how many times you have to travel and all these things. So sometimes you have to travel twice. Sometimes you have to travel three times. Sometimes you may have to travel even four times. So you have to really choose your choose your course in a way that that this is the timing of the year, and this is these two times I have to go. So for example, if two modules are there, and within that there is only a 5-day gap, then you can choose to stay back rather than coming back to India. So
correct.
like that, in this way you can so for example, for my level one, when I went for my level one, actually I actually did 3-4 courses together. So
Oh,
it was like, at one trip, because I planned it in such a way that at one trip, I know that I will do this course. Then I will, that night only, I will catch a train. I will go there. I will do this course the next day morning. Then I will come back here. I will do this course. Then I will go there. I will do this course. So I planned it in a way so that it can save my expenses. So I did, level one. I did first aid. I did safeguarding. I did scouting. So, all these courses, I planned it in a way that I know that in one trip I go and I do it. So it needs quite a research, and you cannot be like just, dreaming about it. You just need to, you need to really get on your computer screen or your phone instead of just scrolling down reels and all this. You just need to go down. You have to do some real research on it, and then get the information right and then plan it accordingly, that okay, this is how you can approach it. Right now, the value of rupee is not performing that well. So the final cost will actually depend on the flight tickets, depend on the value of rupee, depend on where you will stay, depend on if you want to do 2 3 courses together, if you want to plan it out in such a way. But just for any people who wants to do it, you can go to the websites and you can check, and then you can plan accordingly. But before that, before doing any course, just jumping onto any course, I will just suggest, get into coaching, uh, get real experience in coaching, because coaching is not only what you will see on paper. Coaching is
Correct.
something that you have to get on the field, have 20 30 players in front of you, and then you have to coach them. And then once you do that, once you get the practice or habit of coaching, then I think, then I will advise you, then go and do those courses. Because otherwise you spend, let's say, 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees, and you want to do this course, because it will involve flight cost, so many costs, not only the course
Yeah.
fee. Course fee is very minimum. Course fee will
Okay.
be very minimum in front of these flight tickets, and majorly in front of the flight tickets, the course fee will be really less. But then you go and you are not actually, you are not actually uh, having that experience of coaching. Then, and if you actually don't do well in that course, then it will be like your loss. So I will suggest to anyone who wants to be a coach, at first please get into coaching. Even I will suggest, right now the coach the AFF coach education has really improved a lot, and they are really doing good now. So I will even suggest, do the AFF courses as well, because that will give you some, experience on how the courses are done, and how to be on the course, how it feels like to give a coaching practical exam. So you will get to know, you will get to have that experience, get to feel that. So I will suggest anyone who wants to be a coach, please get into coaching. That's the first step. Get into coaching, and then and then of course at the simultaneously do those courses once you are confident about yourself, that yes, now you're ready to coach.
Perfect. So, Noor, the all the UEFA courses happened. You became a UEFA A license, right? How did Kerala Blasters came into the picture? What was it like? When did they approach you? Did you apply? So, how did the collaboration? How did the working with Kerala Blasters happen?
Okay, so it was back in 2022. It was back in 2022. At that moment, I was holding UEFA B license, and I was working with one of the best top talent producing academies in Kolkata. It is Bidhannagar Municipal Sports Academy. I was working there, and then I got to know that that Kerala Blasters is looking to restructure their youth setup, and
Hmm.
is looking to really focus on youth development, and
Okay.
they will be looking for coaches. So
Okay.
then when that happened, I applied for it, and they even had on LinkedIn they even posted uh, you know uh, job opening, and there I applied as well. And then they called me for a 1 week, for a 1 week camp there, because they wanted to see me, I wanted to see them, so that we both can see what it feels like to be with each other. So they will see me so they saw me coaching. So I took some sessions, I went to Kerala, I took some sessions. I even saw how I got to know them, they got to know me. And then there were other some interview process, and some interview rounds. And after that they offered me a contract, and then it happened like that.
So, like, how does the employment work? Is it an year-on-year contract? Is it a monthly contract? How does this bit work?
It's a like yearly contract, like at least with my club, it's a yearly contract. Like yearly in that sense, like you can sign for 1 year, you can sign for 2 year, you can have an extension of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. It works in that way. It's not a monthly contract like you work for certain months and then you leave. It's not like that. So,
Yeah.
and here I like the vision that they had with that the project and the vision that they had, especially the plans that they had for me. And it was really, I'm grateful to the management here. I'm grateful to the sporting director, to our academy director here, and to our head of youth development here, because they really trusted me and they liked me and they wanted me to be here, and I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, it happens in a yearly contract. It does not happen, I will. It does not happen in a monthly basis, because suppose when you're
Yes.
working in a project and you are working for 3 months and then you are leaving, then I think it will be
It's a
like
very
a
short-term
half work
approach.
done. It will be half,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't like short-term approach, and at least in when you're working in youth development, or in in a project in which you want to develop youth players and get them to the national team, get them to the senior team, first team of the club. When you're working in a project like that, it if you're working for short term, it will not give you any fruits. It will not give you any benefits. So it has to be long term.
Correct. So Noor, you're from West Bengal and now you're in Kerala, like two of the biggest footballing hubs in the country, right?
Yeah.
So how different is Kerala? How does it feel to be part of that? Again, I think probably Kerala and West Bengal, Kolkata in particular, are particular places where people associate with the sport are made to feel like God at some instances, right? So how is the culture of football in Kerala? How's the entire does it feel to be a part of the community there?
See, I will tell you one major difference between Kerala and Bengal is, in Bengal, football is of course very popular, but at the same time cricket is also popular. Like cricket, people play cricket, watch cricket. They have a we Bengalis, they have a cricketing legend as well, Saurabh Ganguly. So, but in Kerala, it is all in one football. People here are crazy about football. They may not know a certain cricketer of the Indian national cricket team, but they will know the footballers for sure.
Right.
So football here is all in one, and people here are crazy about football. They are like mad about football, and this is one sport here which rules.
Right. So Noor, do you remember any particular crazy fan incidents or incidents where you like, I never expected something of that sort to happen, but because Kerala being Kerala, that particular incident happened.
I think you know if you're wearing a Blasters jersey, or suppose like for example for today, when I was returning from training and I wanted to have a juice at a local shop, and then I stopped there and I was wearing my training kit, and I went inside and then I asked for a watermelon juice, and then they started asking me like, "Are you a player?" I'm like, "No, I'm a coach." And like, "Blasters?" I'm like, "Yes." And like, "What is your name?" And then I told my name, and then they started searching on Google, my name and this and that. So people here are crazy, and then I took the watermelon juice. I came out, and people, if you're wearing like anything related to Blasters, if you're wearing the training kit or if you're wearing the T-shirt, people will stare at you like you are a celebrity out here. And the for example, uh, few days back when I was in Kodikot, I just took an auto, and I was going to the stadium, and then this auto driver, when he came to know that I am the like I'm like I'm working at Blasters, he actually refused to take money. He refused to take money, and this is I think sixth, seventh, or eighth time it happened. Because suppose you are going to a restaurant and you are having the food, and then they get to know that yes, you are from Blasters, they will refuse to take money. But somehow, like, you have to forcefully tell them that no, you have to take the money. Have eaten food. I've taken this juice. I've taken this ride. You have to take the money. So you have to literally force people like here to take the money. Because when they come to know that you are working in Blasters or you are associated with Blasters, they don't they refuse to take money. So people
Yeah,
here
that
are that crazy
is
about
so
football, and
crazy.
people here are that crazy about Blasters. So really, people make you people will make you feel like celebrity here, and that had only happened like because I'm in Kerala and I'm in Kerala Blasters.
Wow, this is absolutely wonderful, wonderful. So, Noor, coming to now your job as a coach working with the Kerala Blasters youth team, how does a day to day look like for you? What does a day in the life of a football coach look like?
So let's say uh, I will start like how the morning starts. So let's say we wake up at 6, and then we depending on the schedule. If it's a normal training day, then we in the morning either it's either it's off, or it's the players going for studies, or it's the players going for yoga or some stretching. So we do that, and then the players go to school, and then we like head back to our residency, and then we start planning, we start thinking about the session that we are going to take in the evening, if the training session is scheduled to take place in the evening. So then we plan that, and then we have our lunch, we have our breakfast at 9, we have our lunch at 1, and then we head for training at around 3, we start our training at around 4, and then we finish our training, then some discussions, we come back, we have our dinner, and then we start reflecting back on the session, what needs to be done better, and some post training reflections, and then it gets repeated, depending on which day it is. If it is a training day, if it is a match day. For match day it is different. For match day, the if the match is in the kickoff is at 4, then in the morning you do some activation, and then you you have your breakfast, you do some meditation, and then you have you head to you have your lunch, you head to the stadium, to the venue, and then you play the match. You come back, you discuss, sometimes while on the return trip you watch the match, because matches are recorded, and you analyze the match, you give feedback to the players, and this is how it looks like it. But most of the part, for this 2 hour or 1.5 or 1 hour of training session, it really needs a lot of planning and preparation time. So you really need to invest a lot of time. You cannot just simply for the 1 hour training session, you cannot simply go and take the session. You really need to plan. We need to plan on the laptop. We need to we need to maintain proper documentation process for the training sessions and for the players. So it requires on field work, off field work. It is a mixture of both.
Okay, so let's talk about a match week, right? When you're, let's say you are supposed to face Gokulam's youth team on
Okay.
Saturday, right?
Hmm.
So in, because for the youth teams, right, analysis tactics for the opposition isn't really available to an extent that might be available for the senior team, right? So how do you prepare against an opposition? What, how does preparation for you as a coach look like, in terms of how do you counter the opposition's formation, how do you counter the opposition's probably number, the best player that the opposition have? So how do you plan for all of these things as a coach?
Okay, so let's say if we are facing Gokulam on Saturday, if there are match recordings available of Gokulam, we do watch it, and we analyze it, and the players, we show it to the players. Let's say on depending on the training week, if we have a good 5 day week, 5 days before the match, then we divide our days in a way according to the periodization. So most of the coaches will relate to it, because according to the periodization that they do back at their club, following the guidelines and following the club philosophy. So they plan it in that way, and then if you talk about like we analyze the match. If the match recordings are available, we do have training sessions. We do set up training sessions to to counter their weaknesses, to counter their strengths, and to take advantages of their lackings, and to make sure that we are strong as a team, covering up our weaknesses as well. And we do have training sessions designed and done in that way. And then generally on match day -2 we travel for match day -2 or match day -1, depending on how long the journey will be. And then we go we on match day we do some meditation and all this, and then we play the match. And maybe that day itself, if the journey is short, that day itself for the next day we come back.
Okay. So, Noor, so when people talk about academies in world football, for anyone it's like the La Masia or Ajax Academy or the United's Academy, right? And that is what we're fascinated by. Players like Lamine Yamal or Kubarasi for Barcelona. They just fit into the system, right? They've been taught the Barca DNA from, let's say, 10, 12 year of age, right? Is that something that happens at probably Kerala Blasters or Indian football clubs as well, where it's a particular philosophy, particular style of play that you guys teach, or is it something that is not currently being done in India?
Uh, Back at our club, actually, when we incorporate a player in our system, we make sure that our, all the teams from our under 13, under 15, under 17 reserve, all these teams are aligned with the first team philosophy. So that, like, so we are always constantly in touch with the first team, and the first team, coaches and staff guide guide those who are in the pyramid. And so we actually follow the first team philosophy, and all the teams follow the same philosophy. And we try to train players accordingly with that philosophy. So that moving up the ranks, it is easier for the players to get into the first team. Also, at the same time, we do take care of the players versatility as well, because when they go to the national team, they have to be versatile, and they have to they have to adapt to the systems there. If they're getting loaned out to a different club, or if they're getting transferred, it should not be that they are blank, and they are only they are only
Suitable
one
for one style of play.
yeah, they're only suitable for one style of play. So we do look after their versatility as well. And we make sure that they learn how to adapt. And we think about all this, but at the same time, at the core of it, our all the teams follow and get aligned with one philosophy, with the philosophy of the first team, with the club philosophy.
Understood. And let's say, Noor, you find someone at the age of, let's say, 12, 13, who looks like an exceptional talent, someone like a Messi, Yamal, or anyone, right? Who is a once in a generation player, right? So is that something that the senior coaches also discuss, that we want to look at this particular player's development very particularly, and we want him to have a particular journey for him for the next 5, 6 years?
Yeah, we do discuss about it. We do discuss about it when we see a really talented young player at the age of 12 or 13. We do discuss about it. And and it's not only the youth coaches who are part of this discussion, but it includes everyone, from the academy director to the sporting director, to even to of course the first team coaching staff. So even suppose a exciting talent is coming up, even the first team coaches really take interest in that. And I think that is the very good side of our club, a very a very exciting side of our club, that our club really looks very graciously and very with a lot of excitement on they look at the young players. So, and they really believe in developing these players, and in making and in making them move the ranks and reach the first team, and reach the senior professional level of football. And I will tell you a small story. Not every time you will find that the owner of a club is coming and watching an under 15 game. So it happened last year. We were having a youth league game of our under 15 squad, and to our surprise, it was the sporting director who came to watch our match. And not only sporting director, but he was accompanied by the owner of our club.
Wow.
So imagine that you are the owner of an ISL team, and you are coming to watch a under 15 game of the club. And it is not like that you're coming, you're meeting the players, you're watching the first 15 minutes of the first step, and you're going back. No. So I am, so thankful to Nimagata sir. He came, he watched the full match, he talked with the players post match, he talked with the parents post match, and then he left. So you can understand that how everyone at the club is connected, and how everyone at the club, looks at the young players, because otherwise
And I think
the owner of the
this
club won't. Yeah, otherwise the owner
yeah.
of the club won't come and watch full 90 minutes of a under 15 game.
And yes, this is the culture that we want to build. I talk to a lot of people, and like you, I interviewed a couple of coaches who've had experiences abroad. And I think one thing that they point out, I think a lot of it is down to culture, where people are living football, third, fourth generation, grandfathers coming to watch their under 12s every weekend. And that is what we need to promote as a country as well, right?
Exactly, exactly. I think the more and more people show interest, and more people get involved in, the in football, it is better.
Perfect. So, Noor, again, now coming, a lot of time for people in the country, because even after ISL, one of the probably, misconceptions or the hindrances that people have in choosing a career, whether it is coaching or just professional footballer, is the money side of things, right? So, not really asking directly how much you earn, but in terms of just a ballpark range, how much do, let's say, youth team coaches in India earn, whether it is an A license or a B license? Because I just want to know some ballpark range at the ground level, because some people have very disagreements. They don't pay well, they don't do this, but just for people to be motivated, right, to choose a career in football, and whether they'll be financially sustainable in the sport.
Yeah. So like it depends really on the clubs and on the
Yeah.
club management. So let's say if you are in I League, and you hold a, let's say, the B license, and if you're working in an I League club's youth side, maybe you will get around in the range of 20 to 30,000, uh,
Okay.
per month. But again, it depends on the contract. It depends on the
Yeah,
management. It,
obviously.
it depends on it depends on the
Yeah,
club,
I just
because
need
let's say,
ballpark ranges. I think this is a very good
yeah,
sort of estimate. Yeah.
yeah. And if you're working in, let's say in in an ISL club, you will get, let's say, maybe 25 to 35, in that range. So it also depends on the club. So for example, let's say an ID club, let's say Srinidhi Deccan, who has really good youth system, and good infrastructure, good club running very well. So there you will be paid bit more. And then let's say bottom of the table club, maybe there will you will be paid less. So it depends really on the clubs, and the and it depends on, like, the which part, like how you are a part of the club, like you are a under 13 coach, or under 15 head coach, or under 17 head coach, which licenses you hold, and what are, and apart from the licenses, apart from the like designation that you hold, it is like how much value you bring on the table. So you may have
Correct.
a good license, but if you don't bring in that value on the table, then it is not easy to get the money. So
Correct.
really look, so the coaches who really want to get motivated, at first I will suggest to them that, of course, you will earn money, but initially there will be struggles, there will be no money, there will be struggles, there will be less money. But when you keep on upgrading yourself, when you keep on really thinking about being excellent, and like thinking about bringing that value on the table, then of course you will be paid. So right now it has improved a lot. It was not what it was 5 years back. Right now, like people are earning good through football.
Understood. And again, another question, I just received a message today in my DM where, भैया मैं 16-17 साल का हूँ, अब मेरे घर के पास academy नहीं है, मैं footballer कैसे बनूं? And this is just one of 100 messages that a lot of people would obviously be getting, right? And you working with those age groups, right? Let's say someone who's aged between 14 and 18 years old, right? Now that they've passed their golden age of getting developed, right? They did not start young. What is the route for these age group people to get into football, right? Because right now probably 95-99% of people who want to be a footballer are in these particular age groups, right? So how do you think these guys of these age groups can make it professionally?
So if you're in the age bracket of 14 to 80, yeah, of course you may think that you are late, because right now the clubs, the academies, they are generally scouting under 12 players, so that they can come in the system and they can be developed. But I will advise to those players that please don't be demotivated, please don't think that it's the end of the world, because there are still chances for you to grow. So if you are not finding any local academy nearby to your house, I will suggest you that there right now everything is an open book. You can just go to Google, you can go to YouTube, you can find so many training, so many individual training, so many other trainings as well, and you can do that individually, and at the same time look and search for an academy nearby. So for say, let's say if you're in Kerala or if you're in West Bengal, it is very easy to find local academies, or it is very easy to find those camps. It is very easy to find those clubs. But if you're in a part of a country where football has not reached up to that level yet, then I will suggest still, let's say, still you can find somewhere where you can get a good coach, where that coach runs a good academy or a good camp. So I will suggest you go there, and go there, train there, and you develop yourself as much as you can. And then at the same time, when you are training, when you are developing yourself, please play matches, as many matches as you can. So get in the league, maybe get in the district league, get in the district team, and then from there, when you will show some promises, you can get into the state team, and from there, if you get into the state team, it is easy for you to to get into the clubs, to get into, let's say, the state league clubs. And from the state league clubs, what you can do, you can, if you are performing good in those state league clubs, you can get transferred to, let's say, another state league club which is well recognized. And from there, you can get into the Santosh Trophy, get into the senior level, senior professional level football. And this is how your journey can be. But at the same time, your journey, if you've really worked hard, if you're really good, just after playing district and you know and for your state, when you play nationals, when you play, let's say, BC Roy Trophy, which is the under 17 national championship. If you play right now, the under 20 national championship is going to take place, the Swami Vivekananda Trophy championship. So if you get into those teams, and if you're really playing well, then the scouts of the national team can see you. And you know what the professional clubs do? They do go and watch these under 20, under 17 games, and we do scout from there. So if you're really good, and if you're playing really nice, then we can scout you. We can, then we can contact you. We can ask you to come for a trial, and that's how it can work for you. So you don't know, you cannot, no one can guarantee how it will work, but if you keep working hard, one door or the other will get opened for sure.
So, Noor, just like final 5-10 minutes, and I'll not keep you with me for a long time. I know you have UCL to watch as well. Likewise here, but in terms of scouting, right? Scouting is another thing that people are not aware about in the country, right? Can you tell how does scouting in the ISL clubs or in general work in Indian football?
So scouting, how it works. So you have different different methods of scouting. So it really depends on the club, which methods they want to follow, how they want to scout. But one common scouting procedure, if I tell you, or method, if I tell you, It's just like, for us what we can do, if there are any tournaments, if there are any leagues, it's under 15, under 13 league going on, we can go. We can have a dedicated, like we have a dedicated team of scouts who go and actually who watch these games and who submit us the scouting report, and from there we get to know, okay, these players are there. And then at the end of the season we keep a database of these players, and at the end of the season we call these players for for a 1 week trial camp or something like that, and then we select the best players out from there. So it works like that. It works in that way as well. It works in, in having some trusted sources as well. So we already know, that there are some good academies, good local coaching camps in and around, let's say, Kerala, inside Kerala, in and around these districts, in and around these, major talent hotspots. So we know that, we know the coaches out there, and we ask these coaches, to send in their best players, and they train with us, and then we evaluate those players, whether they can be a fit into the system or not, and then we sign him. So scouting players, it is a different sphere. It is connected to coaching, but it is a different sphere, and it requires a different specialization as well. So we do have, in an ISL club, I think every club has a dedicated team of scouts who do work to find out the best players, also as young as possible, so that they can be fit into the system. And it's not only about scouting young players. We People are like clubs, they scout, as high as under 20 and senior team players as well for the senior team, not only for the for the youth teams. So scouting works in this way. Some tournaments that get telecasted, we do watch those games on the screen, and we do see that, okay, this player is doing well, and we can have a look at that player. We go through the profile of the player. We go through some other matches of the players. So we go through this process. For youth teams, it's basically, the trusted sources, and watching local tournaments, under 15 district, inter-district championship, let's say, for example. And we choose players, we scout players. From there we maintain a database. We call the players at the end of the season for trials, and then we select a squad out of them.
Perfect. And lastly, in terms of coach, as a coach, right, Noor, there are certain things that people might not think are very essential qualities that you need as a coach, right? Jo bahar se at the outside, superficial level pe they can't really see, right? What are some key qualities that you think are necessary for a good coach to succeed?
Okay, so, a coach, like being a coach is multidimensional. It's not a one or two or three dimensional. It's multidimensional. So you need a combination of so many qualities. But I think,
Okay.
if I have to pick out some two, three qualities which I really think, which right now, when, like, earlier I never used to know this, but now when I came into coaching, I'm getting to know this, I'm getting to experience this, I'm getting to learn this. I believe, being able to adapt is a very important, skill as a coach. So how you're adapting to different situations, how you're adapting to different culture, different language, different background, different players, different weather, different people, how you are adapting to different situations. It is and the ability to adapt is a very big skill. So you need to, and you don't learn that through textbook or through any other thing. You learn that through experiences. You learn that through life experience. You learn that in your journey. So I think that is something that you can mindfully and actively learn, and actively inculcate within yourself the strength and the ability to adapt. Secondly, I think, I think one thing that is very important is, which all the coaches need to learn and need to need to make themselves good at, is, I think, communication. So communication is really important, like how you communicate not only with the players, but let's say with the staff as well. Let's say with the physio, with the parents. with the let's say fans, or with the brother of this player, who comes and asks you like how is my brother doing. So how you communicate with these players, with the players and with all these people around is very important. Something that of course you will make mistakes, but you will learn. You'll make mistakes, but you will learn. So I think this is also, one of the most important skill that you need to have as a coach. And the third thing I believe is you need to be really, keeping in mind not only the Indian context, but I think the world football context. I think you need to be really empathetic. You need to be really empathetic. You need to feel people. You need to feel situations. If you are not empathetic, if you cannot feel what a player is feeling, if you cannot feel what this staff is feeling, if you cannot feel what the fans are feeling, if you cannot feel what the groundsman is feeling, because when you win a match, it's also the groundsman who feels joy. When you lose a match, it's also the groundsman who feels terrible. So you have to feel those things. When you feel those things, you will evolve. You will get, I will tell you, like, when you get to feel this, that when you lose a match, it's not only the players who are sad, it will be the parents who are sad, it will be the staff who will be sad, it will be the fans who will be sad, it will be the groundsman who will be sad, it will be that shop nearby the stadium who will be sad because today the team lost the match. So when you feel that, you will get extra motivation to work hard. You will get that extra uh, push, that extra energy to give your all. So I think being empathetic as a coach, and when you are working with youth players, because all those coaches who will be watching this podcast and who will be just starting their journey with those youth players, grassroots players, I think you need to be really empathetic, because today a kid, let's say you have 10 kids training with you, and one kid, let's say he does not have, he did not have a good day at home. Maybe he got bullied at school. So if you're not empathetic enough to understand, to feel that player, to know how to make that player feel good, if you're not empathetic, you cannot do that. So when you feel those things, you will be better as a coach. You will be a better person, and you will be a better uh, better teacher, or a better friend to that player, better friend to that kid.
Perfect. But this is wonderfully put, and just can't emphasize on how important and how probably people don't really behind Guardiola's inverted fullbacks. I think people don't really realize what it really takes to be a coach. Lastly, on a closing note, any messages for all those budding, aspiring footballers or aspiring coaches? Just with all that you've experienced in your small life, young life, any message to anyone who's wanting to become a footballer or a coach on a closing note?
I think the major advice, the major thing that we'll say is, please keep working hard. Please keep thinking that you can, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. No one will. And only it's you only who knows that how much efforts you are going to put for what you are wanting to be. And you can dream 1,000 dreams, but if you're not working for it, nothing can help you achieve that dream. And it will be monotonous, it will be boring. Every day you have to, for all the footballers, every day it will be almost the same routine. You wake up, you train, you eat food, you go to sleep. You wake up, you train, you eat food, you go to sleep. Every day it will be you know every day it will be the same. It will be a monotonous life. But you have to keep going, you have to keep going, and you have to boring life you have to this boring life is actually interesting if you really love the game.
And it's
If you really
actually a
want to
dream
be
life
something,
for millions and millions of people.
yeah. So this boring life is actually a dream for millions of players out there. So keep working hard, keep working actively towards your dream. Keep don't think otherwise, that it is so monotonous or it is boring, but keep doing it. And at the same time, you may have struggles, you may need to sacrifice many things, you may need to you may need to sacrifice that night out with the friends or something. You may need to sacrifice so many things, but at the end of the at the end of the journey, it will be worth it. It will be worth it. And you only know that you can be sad, you can be devastated, you can be terribly uh, terribly at loss or whatever it is. But whatever it is, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. So that will ultimately, and I will tell you, does not matter whether all those budding footballers, coaches, does not matter, like you become a pro footballer at top level or not, does not matter. But at the end of the day, this journey will teach you a very good thing about life. This journey, at the end of the day, you will be grateful for this journey. Does not matter you make it at the top level or not. It will make you a better person, better
Perfect.
human being at
Noor,
the end.
yeah. Noor, thank you so much. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I can't thank you enough because the entire time I sort of realized, a- as someone based out of the north, so we sometimes sort of miss out on actually the culture in
Mhm.
probably the southern part of the country, and especially in Kerala. And just knowing your journey, the experience that you've had, and how committed you are to what you do, I think it just makes me happy. And I hope everyone who's doing their bit at whatever level, I think they have the same level of commitment. So thank you so much, Noor, for taking out this time, and it's been long, and but yeah, it was wonderful. I hope you had a good time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. And anyone who wants to, ask me something or talk with me regarding something, please, you can drop me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or you can just, text me, email me. I'm always ready to answer. I'm always ready to help anyone who wants any help from me, who thinks I can help them. Please get in touch, no problem.
I'll
And thank you so
I'll
much.
definitely add your Instagram link on the video description as well, so people can reach out to you freely. And yes, Noor, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much, and have a great day
Thank you.
ahead.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.